Okay, done a lot of work here. You can see I've got the trenches dug. Got 2 trenches, so I've got 2 rows going in. Used 1 by 10, which is actually 9 inches, so it's 18 inches high. Reinforced it with the 2 by 4 on the back side of that one. Now I put up this for the climbers. I might have to put some extensions on, 8 feet up. We'll see what happens. That'll take about 6 weeks to get up there. Should be able to keep all the pests out, including the dogs. That one there just seems to love to tear up the gardens. So now we're getting ready to lay the plastic in. Then after the plastic will come the rock. So I got that. And then here's just going to be the regular garden where I'm going to drip feed it off the drains. And here's the other side of the garden. And this one here is all set. Exact same thing. This is all nice and sturdy. The posts help secure it in. These are all nice and stiff now. So she's ready to go with the plastic. Here's the overall view of it. Fence is not secured yet, but it's enough to keep the dogs out. It's only 32 inches wide, so it's very efficient. You can see that right now the whole thing's got sun. And that guy there is going to keep the bunnies and the squirrels out of here. So I got some heavy duty poly. This is some pretty thick stuff. That way it isn't going to leak. I cut it to length and laid it in the trough. You can see that. Then after it's laid in the trough, fill it with rocks. Here I'm in the process of filling it. Got it about half full so far. The idea behind this is basically it's just going to hold the water. Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm just drilling some holes, the starter holes with a small bit. Okay, we're going to drill a pilot hole. This is just schedule 80. Just keep going down the line. Okay, here I'm using a 5/64 bit. This is the 9 holes in a 24-foot section. So that's about 3 holes per 8-footer. Just small little trickle holes, that's all you need. Okay, and then for the drain, I open the drain up. What I did on the drain lines is I took an orbit bit, opened them up. You want these things to be big, you want them to flow as much water as possible. So here you can see the size of the hole. Almost the size for my pinky to go in. How I split it, covered it with rock. Now this is 1-inch rock. And then I came out the end. Here's my drain tube, filler tube, filler tube. I'll be going to a filler. We got the swells split, so I've got 2 rows set on up. Over here, what I've done is the exact same thing, but what I'm doing is because of the 1-inch rock, I felt there was a lot of soil that was going to go in, so I ended up getting some riverbed stones, some aggregate, and just filling it in. This is going to kind of help close the gap on the top of the stones and gradually filling it. So I'm just about ready to fill it. I'm just kind of molding the plastic the rest of the way, cutting it and trimming it back, and it should be just about ready. Okay, here we can see my drain tubes. We're a little low, so what I'm actually going to do is bury them just under the soil. What I'm doing now is just adding the adapters, and it's just going to be a hose connection. So when it's all finished, it'll look like that. Okay, now what I'm doing is filling these guys up. I had to seal the plastic on the inside. Another one flowing, coming on out just fine. Okay, right now I have just the garden hose hooked up to it. Eventually I'm going to have it brought inside, teed off, going to the two different barrels. They were both done the same. Got an injection here, shut off. This goes to a float valve inside, rises and lowers. And here's the output, separate controls if I need, and shut off. It's a 50-gallon container. Now on the top, what I did is I cut a big hole so I could get the float mechanism in there. And then I just use silicone and part of the cloth, seal it on up so rainwater can get into. Okay, we got that underground tube going running underground here. Running to our timer. This branches out into the two barrels. And here we got kind of a surprise garden. You can see that some stuff's already starting to come on up. Got some soybean growing, some corn, a few other things, some beans. Here's the other garden. We've got a couple things growing here. It's not showing as good, but it's showing some production. This, of course, is our feed. We can manually turn on and off each section right here. You can shut the whole thing off here. That's our main feed. And we got the exact same thing on this side. Both of the valves are open. That's open, that's open. So what happens is the timer right now turns on in the evening about 8 o'clock. Rushes, fills the barrels. The barrels then turn around, rush the cool water in. The cool water descends. The old daily water will come on out as the heated water. And then it feeds the surface garden here. This is what I'm using as a control because that would be kind of like a surface drip feed that we use today. The drain tubes are going on out there, draining pretty well. All these flags are plants. So you can see how they're coming up in the raised garden already. Some of these are coming up pretty darn good. These are the potatoes. Got an onion growing there.